Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the show that's on in the afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, we've got some great guests in studio here
Great
today.
chat today, yeah. Important chat that we need to have in the community and get parents to rally around. This is a good one.
Absolutely. We've got Forrest Bailey in studio as well as Cheyenne Kroul, and they are going to be Detective Cheyenne Kroul, by the way.
So, very nice.
They are going to be hosting a series of talks around the county this month as it relates to the iGuardian and social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, social media is scary. If you got kids, especially if they're young teenagers, really throughout their entire teens, I mean, social media can be a scary place.
Especially when you don't know about it. You know, there's a lot of families out there that have no idea what any of it means or what they want to do. Yeah.
Like, we grew up on it. Our era, we were talking about AOL Instant Messenger, right? That was kind of the genesis of some of social media.
Right.
So we kind of have an understanding of how to navigate this, what's real, what's not, what's dangerous, what's a little bit safer. But even still, people our age can be fooled by things online and can be roped into scams and traps and things that are not good for them.
People don't even know that they're being a victim. And I think this is going to shine a light on this and like what you need to look out for. I think it's a very, very important conversation.
Yeah, man. So looking forward to getting into this conversation here today. Of course, we will have your horoscopes, your events, your memes by the end of the day. It'll be a great show.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to it, man. And we are going to get into it right as soon as we tell you about our friends at Bozard Ford Lincoln. They've been doing this since 1949, being the best in the business. They are a family-owned beacon of trust right here in St. Augustine. They were founded on honesty, integrity, and community service, and that family tradition continues to thrive through generations. They've got their state-of-the-art service facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays out there, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and you can always enjoy the comforts of their customer lounge, as well as the unique flavors of Ford's Garage while you're out there. They are the proud recipients of the prestigious Triple Crown Award and named Florida's Dealer of the Year by Dealer Rater. Their team dedicated to providing an enjoyable and efficient experience. They offer the best in pricing, selection, and service. It's Bozard Ford Lincoln, just off 95 and State Road 16, where your satisfaction is their mission, and they are driven to inspire. Also, our friends at the Bailey Group, they provide custom solutions for happy, healthy employees. Building the perfect plan to attract high-performing, loyal employees can be hard, and making sure that plan meets legal, regulatory, and other requirements is even harder. You need a program that is customized for you, not something that's just an off-the-shelf cookie-cutter package.
No.
You need one that's designed for things like your size, your location, your number of employees, demographics, your type of business. All that makes a difference in finding the perfect plan for you. Finding that right solution depends on having a different perspective that sees and is trained to see the bigger picture as well as those intricate details. And that's where the Bailey Group comes into the picture, bringing you the right people, technology, experience, and insights that can help you see and do so much more. Most of all, they strive to take the headaches out of the process. Give them a call and let them take the headaches out of the process for you. 904-461-1800. And of course, Elace Med Spa, who we love, especially because they're offering new clients $100 off.
Isn't that nice?
All you got to do is mention Davey's name.
That's it. So
it's pretty
easy.
amazing.
Yes.
Hydrofacials, Botox, dermal fillers, laser treatments, hair services, all the skin services you can imagine. They really do it all, and they do it all the best. They do it all so good that they're training the rest of the country how to do these things.
It's incredible. We have this right here locally.
It really is. We're very, very lucky. So Elace, check them out at elace.com.
Turn that frown upside down. Picture face.
There you go. All right. Joining us this afternoon, Forrest Bailey, Detective Cheyenne Kroul. How are y'all doing this afternoon?
Great.
Doing very well, thank you.
Good, thank you. So let's see. You guys are going to be talking here soon. It's going to have a lot to do with the iGuardian Pro. What is iGuardian?
Yeah.
So iGuardian program was actually developed by Homeland Security.
Okay.
And the great thing about the program that's coming up is it's focused on social media.
Great.
And really focus on how we evolve and how as adults, but also targeted towards a teen population, letting them know the social media apps that they have on their phone, they're meant for fun. They're meant for communication. They're meant to keeping in contact, but they also unfortunately are opening themselves up to a criminal element. And it gives them the warning signs of when those things start to happen. Goes through a number of apps that most of us probably have on our phones and we don't think anything about because our intent is good. Right. So we're not seeing how somebody can have that. But what I really like about the program that they've developed is it's meant to have dialogue between adults and kids about these things. And what these sessions coming up, because we have them throughout the county, they're coming up on Thursdays over the month of October, but particularly having somebody like Detective Cheyenne come out. I was there this past year when she addressed a whole bunch of students at Ponte Vedra High School.
Oh, wow.
And when she gives firsthand some of the things that she's seeing happen in our community. So we're going to have Ben Ludke from Homeland Security Investigations who lives in our area.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
We have Cheyenne there with us. So to have that panel where we not only go through the program, but they can hear firsthand about some of the things that have been attempted within our own community because they're preying on our kids.
Yeah.
So it's a great social media program that they've developed.
And Detective, can you talk about some of those experiences that you've had to come across in our very own community here? Because a lot of people think, well, that happens in other places, right? That doesn't happen here in St. Johns County.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest misconception that people have is that St. Johns County, it's so safe, our crime rate is so low that these things just don't happen. And we have a lot of parents that are like, well, I know what my kids are doing. I know their friends. I know what they're doing online. But we are seeing children younger and younger. I mean, we were having cases with children as young as 5 years old. Their parents give them a smartphone and they have full access to the entire world at their fingertips. And some parents don't know the signs to look for. Some parents don't want to know what their children are doing, and it needs to be put out there that these things are happening within St. Johns County. I've worked at the sheriff's office for 12 years, and for half of that I was in the Internet Crimes Against Children unit, and it was just so prevalent for young kids, elementary school, middle school, high school age kids. It did not matter. It didn't matter what the demographic was. It did not matter. Like, there were people out there that their goal was to sexually exploit children. I mean, so in my years in ICAC, I have had the absolute privilege of putting people that sexually exploit children online in prison. I've had the honor of doing that so many times. And it is just, it's the people that you think are not, not going to be doing this. It's not the boogeyman down the street or down the dark alley. It's your neighbors. It's, we've had doctors, teachers, lawyers, cops, and it is everywhere, and it's more prevalent than people think. And I think it's more prevalent than people want to think.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, right? We want to pretend like it's not happening.
You want to believe that could not happen in your household. I think everybody has that. My house is safe. My home is safe. My neighborhood is safe. But you have no idea what is going on behind somebody else's door across the street, or what's going on in their life.
Detective, in the 12 years that you've been working on this, have you seen an evolution? Have you seen it change? Have you seen it heightened to different levels? Because now it's a little bit more in mainstream. We are obviously having iGuardian. We're talking about it, but we didn't talk about it 12 years or maybe even 15 years ago as much as we do now. Right. How have you seen that evolve?
Well, the internet has evolved. There's so many social media applications out there, and it just seems like you understand like the top 10 and 10 more come out, and then you understand those and 10 more come out. There are apps that are designed just for children between 13 and 16 years old, and there's so much out there. I think that parents have the understanding of, well, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Snapchat, but there are so many more applications out there that children are getting on, that these predators online are seeking children out on. And I think that, again, 12 years ago, it wasn't that prevalent because the internet has evolved, these applications have evolved, and it has given children the opportunity to get online and be whoever they want to be. And for a person to target them for, their life, what's going on in their life, anything. And it just evolves so quickly, and it just spirals out of control so quickly.
Wow. Yeah, they're leading them onto different sites and things. So they could be on Facebook starting, and then it could just go into somewhere else. That's crazy.
Well, I think a scary one that a lot of kids have is Roblox, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's one that it is designed to be just a handful of innocent games for kids, but, anything with a chat feature.
Yes.
Right? Anything where somebody
Really?
can talk to you from anywhere in the world
scary.
poses a real significant
Absolutely.
danger.
The chat feature is huge. These predators online, they target applications that have a chat feature.
Yeah.
And when we were doing undercover work and I would be posing as a young child or as a bad parent or whatever, I was meeting these people on one application and they were like, hey, switch to this. The chatting is encrypted. Switch to this application. Switch to this application. So their goal is to find these children or find a vulnerable person and switch them to an application that they can prey on them ultimately.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me, and Pete, you mentioned AOL when we were getting kicked off here, and I remember with my oldest daughter, because the environment was a lot different, right? We were more sitting down. She was on AOL, but it was on the family computer,
Right. Yeah.
and so I
yes.
could sit down next to her and say, "Okay, who is this person? Who is this person?" If she didn't know, I would make her delete it. With these phones now, which we put out there for good reason, for convenience, so we can stay connected, this criminal intent can now follow our kids anytime they have their phone on them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so the dangers are definitely there. One of the stories that I know Ben shares is sometimes we hear about a lot of these things, and you think of the victims, and when you think about the sexual exploitation, you have a tendency to think about the women being targeted, and we have a tendency to just go towards daughters being target. I was shocked to learn that actually young boys are a huge target.
Yep.
Wow.
And particularly sometimes with that, it's not only a sexual exploitation, but they will go after it from a financial standpoint. So they befriend them, they talk to them, they kind of draw them into a situation where they start exchanging pictures and nudes of each other. And the next thing you know, they're going in and saying, hey, I know everybody that I'm going to send these out to everybody unless you send me money.
This
Yeah.
happened to Chris Olsen, the influencer. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You're
Yeah.
right. This is a huge thing to talk about. Yeah.
Gigantic. And so really, really excited about these sessions coming up. They're free, but I would say you can't afford the price of not attending.
Yeah.
They're throughout the county, and it should be really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is something that every parent of a teenager or even a preteen, somebody who's just about to be a teenager,
Absolutely.
or like you mentioned, I mean, people are targeting people as young as 5.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think targeting younger children because they're more vulnerable, they're more susceptible to believe things.
Mhm.
I think they are targeting younger and younger and younger children.
what do you think are some of the worst apps that we have right now that children are being exploited on?
Absolutely. So Roblox, like you said, is one. Discord is a huge one. We see Discord regularly. Any of your basic ones, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, pretty much any application that, like you said, has a chat feature that they can reach out and touch that child via the internet and start talking to them and groom them in order to switch them to what they want to do. Kik is a huge one.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. WhatsApp. I've seen that too,
Yes.
which is more used globally as opposed
Right.
to, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So, Forrest, how long will these talks be? And can you give us some kind of the bullet points that you guys want to make sure and cover in these discussions?
Certainly. So the program is designed for a couple hours. So we're starting off, and the first one is on the 10th at Pedro Menendez High School.
Mhm.
Then we have Tecoy Creek, where we had our first one last year
Mhm.
on the 17th. And on October 24th, we have one at Bartram Trail. So wherever you live in the county, there's one
awesome.
coming nearby you.
Yeah.
All the sessions are from 6 to 8.
Okay.
The format will basically run where, hopefully we can start on time. Depending on traffic, we've had to wait a few minutes, but when we start, we'll kind of give a kickoff. Typically, I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing with the foundation, why this is important, what we've come across, and then I'll hand it over to Agent Ben Ludke from the Homeland Security Investigations. He'll go through the iGuardian program. What we're doing different this time is after that's done, we're going to have a panel discussion. Open audience questions.
That's great.
From the kids, from the adults, whoever has it. Cheyenne, I know, is committed to be there at them, as will I, and as will the Homeland Security Investigations. And so that's how the program will kind of run. The format that we have is really focused on the applications that are out there. So like you ask about that, and they will talk about, here's the various different applications. He gives some examples of crimes that have been committed. There is also a part that he's on there. It hits me every time they go through a scenario from a few years ago about where there's some online bullying and some of a young lady who was exploited and put online, and she eventually committed suicide as a result of it. So it talks about some of the tolls of that as well. So it's a really, really great program. The first one we did, the kids that were in there, it really hit them. They, like most of us, as we're listening off these applications that are part of our day to day, we're not sitting there thinking about the dangers that were there. And they started to realize the dangers that they've been exposed to, and sometimes the near misses they've had. So that's the heart of it, is an education, opening doors for communication. And then that's what we're really trying to end with this time, is some dialogue and letting people know it's happening here in our county. We certainly, as a family, you have trolls, but then you have people who go, a lot further than that. So we had some actual threats against our family as we were just going through everything, because, the world's a different place and people react oddly to some scenarios.
Yeah.
Detective, what's the response like when somebody does say something because they saw something? Like, when it gets in front of you, what's like your, without saying too many trade secrets or whatever, but like what does it look like on your end? How do you take a case on?
So it goes from, looking at what was going on, seeing what was out there. When I was in the Internet Crimes Against Children unit, we would get the tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and it just kind of went from there, IP addresses, identifying suspects, and going from there. Unfortunately, there were some times that we couldn't arrest these people. We couldn't find the people who were making these videos. When we get an actual live victim here that is being sexually exploited, I mean, when I was there, and the detectives now that are in the Internet Crimes Against Children unit, they do the best possible job to find out who's doing this. And unfortunately, I've had a case as well where a teenage girl was being sexually exploited and she took her life because of it. These cases are so serious and they're so prevalent in our county that we have the best and trained detectives to work these cases.
Yeah.
The detectives that are in the ICAC unit now, they're amazing, and it's not something that is taken very lightly. These cases are worked so diligently, and it's a lot. There's a lot that goes in it, lots of legal paperwork. There's lots of legal compliance that goes into it. We want to make sure that when we start a case, it is rock solid and going forth, so we can put these predators and these people that exploit children in prison for a very long time.
Yeah, because people can be catfishing as a predator, which is even deeper than that.
Absolutely.
How do you prove that is the person behind that? That's really hard. I get that.
It is so very hard. And one thing that, in order for us to charge, we would have to make sure that the person that we're going to arrest is the person that's actually behind the computer. Sometimes we're able to do that and sometimes we're not. We have had cases where it's, the 65-year-old guy in his mom's basement that is pretending to be a 15-year-old teenage girl and, getting pictures that way. And, unfortunately, sometimes we can't catch them all.
Yeah.
I wish we could. That would be
God
great.
bless what you do. Yeah.
But we just can't. But there is not a detective that is over in that ICAC unit right now that will not put forth every amount of effort into putting a predator behind bars.
Yeah, and there's just so much that you learn as you get exposed to this world that most of us don't think about. So, talking about catching people. As a parent, if you go on the phone, you find all these horrible interactions that your kid has had, your natural tendency a lot of times is to delete. And the one thing that I would tell your listeners right now is don't delete what's on there, because that is the evidence that they need to start going after these people and putting them behind bars. So as embarrassing as it might be, call law enforcement first. And the other part that I'll say is, our St. John's Sheriff's Office and the unit that they have, they're incredible on the connections that they had. So, we had somebody who was threatening us. They were able to figure out, even though they were trying to hide their IP addresses and the VPNs and all of those things, they figured out who the individual was somewhere in the United Kingdom. And were able to kind of go and have somebody do that and put a stop to the behavior. But a lot of the cases when they walk through the iGuardian program, they'll show you about how some of the people preying on our kids here in St. John's are, coming off of the coast of Africa, because that's where they set up a lot of these things to try and bring things in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's eye-opening, and it's very important for people to know.
So I know you guys have, I know there's a couple of other events that I want to get into soon. I think there's a golf tournament in the next few months. But before I get there, I do just want to take a little bit of a side road with you, Detective, and just like on a personal note, what do people go through who work in these units? Because you guys have to see some of the worst stuff, some of the things that no other human being on the face of the earth wants to see, wants to experience. And this is every day for you guys. So what is it like being kind of in the belly of the beast there? And are there services to help you all as well deal with some of this stuff?
Absolutely. It is draining. I started out in the unit, before I became a parent, and it was bad. And then I became a parent, and it made it a little bit worse.
Yeah.
I stepped away from the unit in 2022 after having my daughter, and I just needed a change. It is very taxing on your mental health. I don't think I realized it until I got out of the unit, but it is something that, those images and those videos, they'll never leave you. They never, ever escape you. It's some of the most horrific things that you would ever imagine, and then here you are, we do these undercover chat ops and everything, and you have to, pretend to be a kid, and you're listening to this grown man. And I say man because it's not a thing that women do outwardly like that.
Absolutely,
so you'd have to sit there and talk to these men and just the things that they would do to you. And they get in the car and they travel. I've had people travel from South Carolina, North Carolina, different states to have sex with who they thought was a child. I have been able, like I said earlier, I've been able to put some very, very disgusting people in prison for a long time to the rest of their lives. And that's been such an honor for me. Yeah. But that is something, it's so rewarding to know that we made a difference, that we took a predator off the street. That's so rewarding. But yes, the sheriff's office is great. Sheriff Hardwick is amazing. The detectives have to go, even in major crimes where I am now, we have to, we're mandated to see a counselor. The ICAC detectives have to go more than we do because of the things that that we see. But absolutely. We have to do therapy. The sheriff is great as far as like having counselors at the sheriff's office, sending us somewhere. If you're like, I need a mental health day, no problem. So it is taxing. I still remember a lot of my cases. I still, think of some of the things that I've seen. It's hard to push that out, but it is rewarding at the end of the day to put people like that in prison. That's
Detective,
extremely rewarding.
We've talked a lot about the predator, but I'm also in my head, I'm thinking about the victim. And there's a big element of shame here. So like when they say something and see something, how do you guys tackle that? Like, I feel like a lot of people would come forward if they knew that you guys are a more of like a comfort and to figure out and to solve this. Like, how do you guys tackle the shame element?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So one of our detectives, Corporal Dennis Camden, recently had a case involving a young girl who was being sexually abused by her mom's boyfriend. I sat and talked with her, and I just watching her, sitting across from her and watching her, just the absolute shame. Even though she's an absolute 100% victim, the shame that she wore on her face, it was horrible. But it is nothing to be ashamed of. Like, you are a victim. Somebody preyed upon you. And if that is what we can get across, is for these young people to come forward to us and tell us, I'm being exploited. This is happening to me. I want it to stop. I don't know how to go to my parents. If they can come to us and we can resolve that problem for them, or help move forward with that problem, or give the parents the tools that they need to have those conversations with their children, then these meetings that we're having, these presentations that we're having, are worth absolutely everything. I never ever want a child to feel that if they're being sexually exploited online, or, they sent a nude picture and now they're being blackmailed, but I never want them to think that this is their fault. None of that, nothing is their fault. I would rather them come forward and tell us and let us handle it from there. And I certainly never ever want to have a case where they feel like their only option out of it is to take their own life, because that's not true at all. So I want to just push forward to your young viewers that are watching, elementary, middle, high school kids that are watching. This is not your fault. None of this is your fault. Even if you sent a picture or you said something you shouldn't have said, you were being preyed on, you were being groomed. And our goal is to put as much of a stop to that as we can.
Yeah, that's huge.
God bless what you guys do. Oh, I'm choked up.
Now coming up, there's a few events that are being planned that people need to know about. Let's talk first about there's a golf tournament at the St. John's Golf and Country Club.
Yep, November 4th, having our second annual golf tournament up
Very
there.
nice.
So looking forward to that, and it was a great event last year. The wonderful thing about it is, it's helped us to raise a lot of funds so that we can do things to like support programs such as iGuardian, or the other item we have coming up, Women Against Violence Encounters.
Right.
That's put on by the St. John Sheriff's Office. We have a session this Sunday at 9:30. There's a lot of those that are scheduled. And the thing I'll say is, you hear about the Women Against Violent Encounters, and, you immediately start saying, okay, this is going to be a self-defense. It does teach self-defense techniques, but what it does to teach young children, but also adults, situational awareness. You see on social media a lot of posts where people, are in stores around us and they sense that they're being followed.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of this.
Yeah, like they talk about some of the ways that you could do that. So I highly encourage, moms, go with your sisters, aunts, grab a kid and go to these sessions. Because that's been a very, very great program as well. So those are a couple of things where we have coming up. And then we've also started to work on, some of our victims advocacy. So we had a night at the Jumbo Shrimp. We're going to be looking to do some more ways to connect with other victims' families so that, likewise, as we talk about from victims, the shame that you can feel and letting people know it's not their fault. There's people to lean on, which is a wonderful part about our golf tournament that I don't think we talk enough about. So we have the traditional golf going out in the morning, wonderful course there, a really great time. But in the afternoon, we also have a fun day. So it's open to the public on that. We have bounce houses. There's going to be a band there.
Cool.
And for those who want to go out with their kids and play, they actually, there's a charge to that, but they do have a par 3, so they make it a lot easier for the kids to go out on a really nice golf course.
That's fun.
But it's really meant to be a family day and a family connection in the afternoon.
Cool. So let everybody know where they can get more information on the talks that you guys are going to be doing, the iGuardian stuff, where they should be following, websites if they need to sign up, all that stuff.
There's not a sign up for the iGuardian programs that we've mentioned. Come on in. If you want details on it, we do have it on the Tristan Bailey Strong social media, so tbstrong.org. I also know that the sheriff's office also has it posted as well. So if there's any information that's needed, it's out there.
I'll put link in comments for everybody. That's awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all both so much for coming in
Thank you for
and
having
talking
us.
to
Powerful
us.
chat.
We really, really appreciate it. And thank you all for the work you're doing on behalf of children in our area and across the world. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's so important. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow, man. I mean, every parent needs to be at these
Wake up.
conversations.
This is the time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not something to mess around with. It's not something to take lightly. It's not something, especially if you're not checking your kid's phone every single night. It's not something you've got under control.
Right.
It's just not.
This
so
is definitely a part of the family conversation that needs to be had. You just have to. And I know we always say meet kids where they're at. Well, here we go. This is an opportunity to figure it out and make it better for everybody.
And I think one of the most important takes from this is just finding out how to start those conversations.
Right.
Because that can be the toughest part. How do you have these conversations with your children?
Right.
And I think these talks are
diffuse
gonna
your
help open
anger
these
first
doors.
and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in an era where it was like, parents' way or the highway, and that's different now. So we have to have a conversation. You got to meet where kids are because they're getting smarter than us, and that's why we're having to deal with this. So,
you don't want to be playing catch up in scenarios like
Correct.
this, for sure. Hey, man, got to remind you about our friends at Old Town Trolley. They're doing the Jailbreak 5K. This is back. This is a big one, a big run that everybody looks forward to, happening October 19th at 8 a.m., starting at Old Town Trolley's old jail. This is not your ordinary 5K. It is a jailbreak. Of course, you're going to break free from the historic old jail, dash down Magnolia Avenue, and conquer the Volano Bridge.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the toughest things
That's
to conquer.
a beast, right?
Yeah, man. But you won't have to walk back the other way. They'll shuttle you back, which is nice.
Very nice.
They're also giving away a huge cash prize and other cash prizes for the top 3 most creative costumes. You don't have to come in costume, but it is encouraged. Have a little fun with it. You might as well
Yes, sir.
win $1,000. Come on. There's more. All proceeds from this action-packed event go to support St. Johns County Schools through the Investing in Kids. So while you're having fun, you're also giving back to the community, which is huge. Again, October 19th, 8 a.m., Old Town Trolley's old jail. You can register now. I would do that. They got great medals and shirts, by the way.
Amazing.
People who run love the medals and shirts. They have some of the best medals and shirts in the game.
If you don't like 5Ks, this is the one to go to because it's entertaining, it's family fun, and it's quick, and it's it's picturesque.
Yeah.
When you go over that Volano Bridge, you can just have some pride about our town. Yeah.
And no one else shuttles you back to home base.
Everyone's like, you're on your own.
That's such a great touch.
Yeah.
You're exhausted from running these things, and they're going to take you back to home base to have fun for the rest of the day. So again, you can register at inc-stjohns.org/events and join the adventure.
And for a fabulous 45 years, All-American Air have been the AC hero of St. Augustine and beyond. We're talking St. John's, Flagler, Duval, and Putnam counties. They're not just the experts, they're the cool cats of warranty and non-warranty service work. They have preventative service maintenance agreements, new construction installations, and rocking high-efficiency systems. From the Lennox Wonders to the ultra-smart iComfort thermostat, they've got all your HVAC products in sight. Give them a call today. Get on one of those maintenance plans, 904-461-0070.
And then, of course, our friends at Bin 39 Wine Bar. Great people out there and a great place to find your new favorite wine. Or if you just want to sit down and relax with friends in their courtyard and just sip on a few different items from their selection, you can do that as well.
Get a bottle of that Omen. Oh, man, I tried that last night. It's real nice.
That's a special for
Yes.
October, right?
Yep, 25% off of a bottle of Omen. Yes, please and thank you.
There you go. If you're looking for your new favorite wine, you're going to find it at Bin 39. Irving scours the globe to make sure you find your favorite wine out there. Bin 39, they're at 4 St. George Street, and you can give them a call at 904-827-5740. All right, it is horoscope time.
Get them.
Let's see. We have got Libra and Aquarius today for a Thursday. I know. Libra, the perceived master of balance and harmony, except not this month. Your scales will tip so far out of balance that you'll wonder if gravity itself is out to get you.
See?
Your relationships will be a tangled web of misunderstandings and passive-aggressive comments.
Ooh.
Social gatherings will feel... You're not supposed to be intrigued by
I'm
that.
very intrigued for this. Good luck. These are my least favorite signs, so go ahead.
Social gatherings will feel like high school drama scenes with you as the unfortunate lead. Hopefully, you enjoy awkward silences and botched attempts at peacemaking, because that's all you're going to get this month.
Karma.
Yeesh. Aquarius. Oh, innovative Aquarius, you will spend this month realizing that your forward-thinking ideas are falling on deaf ears. Every attempt at progress will be met with resistance from people comfortable in their own outdated ways. Your social circles will shrink as friends decide you're just too out there for their taste.
Yeah, it's usually my life.
Yeah, well, F those people.
I know, right?
Don't bother trying to enlighten anyone. Your brilliance is destined to be unappreciated.
Oh.
Enjoy your existential crisis.
Jeez, I'll tell you what you can enjoy.
Save
Okay,
us,
okay,
please.
Okay, swing by the feed mill. Obviously, that's located out by 214 on Sunday, October 20th, from 11 to 2. They have their fall market. This is a family-friendly event. There's no admission fee. We love that. Live music by Dead Parrot Society. Okay, I'm telling you, it's very extraordinary pizza out there. I know it sounds random, but it's wood fire pizza. It's so good. They have over 20 local makers and artists. There's also a petting zoo. There's a trick-or-treating booth. There's pumpkin decoration station. Love that. Haunted haystack photo booth and ghostly garden tour. That sounds like a lot of fun. Costumes are welcomed and encouraged. That's over at the Feed Mill again, October 20th, 11 to 2. That's kind of fun. Test out your
like
Halloween costume. See if it's good. You know what I mean? It's not quite Halloween, so you got to test it out. See? Yeah. Just make sure you're covered up. All right. Hey, turn that frown upside down. Let's go to Pound Town. I'm talking about I'm talking about the Hastings Hoedown and Pound Cake Bake Off. Whoopsie doodle. This is happening Saturday, November 2nd from 3 to 7 p.m. over at Good Earth Farm. Going to be a lot of fun. You know, they're always turning it up and turning it out at Hastings Main Street. Yes, they have a Pound Cake Bake Off. It's a perfect blend of Southern tradition and a community spirit, all in support of Hastings Main Street revitalization efforts. Check that out, hastingsfl.org.
All right.
Yes. And we also have something very fun happening in the Ponte Vedra area.
Okay. Do they know how to have fun out there?
Yes, they do. The Ponte Vedra Women's Club is actually doing some really cool things up there. So they're having a fun night, the Golden Bachelor Auction. This is the ultimate girls' night out. 5 bachelor dates to be auctioned off. Tony Fox is the MC and auctioneer. There's a cash bar, heavy appetizers, October 23rd. Auction starts at 7 p.m. At the Shine venue. Very, very cool. I'll put link in comments. PonteVedraWomen'sClub.com. Yeah, you can get yourself a date, baby. That's nice.
Sounds like they're auctioning off a sugar daddy.
They
out
are.
there.
That's what it is. The Golden Bachelor.
Right.
They're going to,
There you go, ladies. It's hard to afford life in St. Johns County.
Right. Enjoy. Don't overpay.
Right. Yeah. Magnolia Family Dentistry, where you won't overpay.
That's
there
nice.
You go. They're redefining what it means to visit the dentist in St. Augustine and St. Johns County. Led by Dr. Paolo Rodriguez, Magnolia Family Dentistry, not just about clean teeth. It is about a clean and extraordinary experience from start to finish. From the second you walk into their doors, you're going to notice the difference and be welcomed into their state-of-the-art practice that prioritizes your health and well-being. Experience the difference with Magnolia Family Dentistry, where a healthy smile meets exceptional care. Schedule your appointment today by calling 904-824-0990. Big supporter of the Yellow Jackets football streams as well, which we appreciate. Yeah, man. And our friends at Shea Moore, you can step beyond the velvet rope and into the heart of plush romance out there at Shea Moore, St. Augustine's premier jazz venue, tapas lounge, and special event space. You'll treat yourself to an unforgettable evening where Chef Ellie Rose's artisanal tapas dazzle your taste buds, and Chef Austin crafts fresh, vibrant, and exclusive sushi experiences to elevate your palate. You'll sip on fabulous drinks while live jazz fills the air, creating the perfect date night ambiance. They specialize in private dining, rehearsal dinners, baby showers, luncheons, any party you can fit in there with up to 150 people. They can do it for you. And if you mention 904 now, you'll save $200 on that reservation. They're at 45 San Marco Avenue, complimentary parking, which is nice and hard to find in that area. Open 4 to 11 and have nightly entertainment at 7. Reserve your table at bitesbubblesandjazz.com.
And every guest, every time since 1987, Panache opened its doors to be a cut above the rest. Their mission at Panache is to care for their team, guests, and community from scalp to soul and bring the joy to the world one service at a time. What's the Panache difference? Well, it's their carefully chosen, highly trained staff there to exceed your expectations. So I'm going to exceed it right now. 20% off of massages or facial services from now until October 12th. Very, very cool. I got to swing by Panache yesterday. I am the official announcer for the Tampa Bay Rays St. Augustine Little League Association.
Word on the street is they're very excited about this.
They are. I just am so pumped for the project. It was so good. They treated me to a nice gift card to Panache. That was so sweet. There's nothing better than getting a thank you card from kids. That was very super sweet. So yeah, that was awesome.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, how we ending the show today?
All right, super bizarre picks of food today.
Okay.
All right, so this first one, I hate you too, broccoli.
Yeah, right back at you, buddy. Seriously, I started this war. Yeah.
All right, next, run! The Knibbles are coming.
What?
This is the kiwi and the kiwi.
Okay, there you go.
Next up, pineapple.
No.
No.
That does not look appetizing.
No. Next up, do you have the patience to do something like this? Could you imagine?
That would take 3 days.
Then
3 days.
Yeah, it's like beautiful. You can put
That's awesome.
Yeah, put some, I don't know, lacquer on that. Next up, lifetime regrets right here. Don't do this.
This is what tourists do.
I thought I saw this in Milano Beach the other day. Yeah, some dopey.
What an idiot.
Not smart. Next up, I thought ogres are like onions, though, not like limes and potatoes.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. That's creative.
It's kind of cool. But who's the person that's going to take the potato now? You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, sure.
You don't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
Next up, the mushrooms are spooning.
Oh, cute.
Big mushrooms. Next up, the world famous wafer tower.
Oh, look at that. Wow, it all matches up pretty nicely.
Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty cool.
Look at this egg, this next one. Boo.
Very Halloween-y.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. And this last one, wow, this is actually very impressive. Like, that is impressive to me. Like, you just curl it right into the pot.
I don't think I'm going to try that anytime soon.
Very difficult.
Yeah. I'm not an engineer. I can't make that work. All right. Good deal.
Yes.
Thank you to Detective Cheyenne, Forrest Bailey, for coming in here today. Make sure if you are a parent that you are attending one of these discussions. It is so vitally important. It could save your child's life. Thank you, Davey, for putting this show together. Rick for pressing all the buttons, and you guys out there for watching. Share this one with your parent friends. It is very, very important. We will talk to you guys in the morning.
Bye, everybody.